Welcome, welcome. Come on in to a new perspective with your sister and life coach, Leslie Roberts. I wanted to stop by and ask you, what is confusing you in your life today? Are there things that are happening that are confusing? Think about that for a moment. Yeah, I'm sure we can all come up with a couple of them, right? I know I can. But what I wanted to be clear about today is that confusion, if there's confusion, you have to get some understanding about it because confusion doesn't pay off well. It means that you're cloudy. It means that you don't see clearly. Let's actually go to the definition of confusion. I have a few minutes with you guys, and I like to research. That's what I like to do because you learn. I'm a woman who's always progressing and learning. I like to learn. So let's go to confusion. All right, so confusion, the definition from the Google, lack of understanding, uncertainty. Some of us live in confusion. How do you live in confusion? How is it never a time where you're not confused, where you're certain about tomorrow? You're certain about your decision. And I'm not speaking about certain like you're certain with knowing that you're gonna live tomorrow. Like none of us know that. So I'm not speaking about those things. I'm just speaking about being certain that if God wakes you up tomorrow, you're certain of the outcome being on your side. Let's say that. You're certain that the outcome is going to be an outcome that brings you goodness, that does well for you. You're certain that the outcome is always going to be the right outcome, I would say. If you don't feel that way, then confusion is part of your life. You should feel that way. You should know that you know that you know. Even in the area of doubting, the initial state of it all, the shock of a situation may have you wavering for a minute, for a second, but your roots, I always talk about roots, your roots are so grounded in a foundation that after the emotions subside, you are understanding that what is good is going to turn out for you. Okay? So let me give you two scriptures about this confusion so that we will decide that that's just not where we want to live in anymore. 1 Corinthians 14:33 says, "For God is not a God of confusion, but of peace." So if God is not in confusion or is not about confusion, but he's about peace, then we know now that confusion is the opposite of peace. And we know now that God is not in confusion, so why should we want to be there? Okay? So if something's confusing you, you need to take a closer look at that thing. Like, move in. Get your microscope. Analyze it. Get some understanding. And that takes me to 2 Timothy 2:7. Think over what I say, for the Lord will give you understanding in everything. In everything. So if confusion is the absence of understanding, and then God tells you that he gives you understanding in everything, and then he says that peace he gives, man, those two scriptures, I'm not going to go any further. Those two scriptures alone show me whose side that I want to be on. And it's not the confused side. It's not the side that's going to keep me in the dark. It's not the side that keeps me uncertain and unstable and not knowing what it's going to be for me. Like, that's not the uncertainty and confusion that I choose to live in. And I hope it's not where you want to go. I hope that these two scriptures alone will speak volumes to you and show you that it's not where you want to be. You don't want to do that. You're not about that life. You're not about that life. Now, if you don't mind walking in the dark and not seeing your way through and stumbling over stuff and knocking in the walls and everything is always chaotic and everything is never settled out and nothing is ever resolved and nothing is ever moving, confusion is where you want to be. But if peace is where you want to be, you've got to change your mindset. You have to do some things differently. But this video is to first make you aware of the confusion. Because if you're not self-aware, if you're not made aware of where you are, then you don't even know where you're trying to go or where you can go, because you haven't been clear where you are. So I came to bring the spotlight. Let me get something. I came to bring the spotlight and shed some light on the confused state that you no longer think is cool. Don't think that's cool. Want to know, want to be certain, want to be clear, want to be concrete in what's going on. And if anything changes, let God be the one that changes, but change it. And you okay with that because you know that whatever God does for you is going to be good. And you know whatever God does is going to be for your good. So don't settle for confusion. Confusion is of yesterday. It's a new day. It's time to be at peace and be certain and sure on where you're going. So remember, change your mind, change your world. Get a new perspective. It won't hurt you. It won't, I promise you. It won't hurt you. It can be your best friend. And let all the old perspectives go by the wayside. Let them die. Let them go where they go. Let them stay where they stay. Let's go into the new. So, bye-bye. Change your world, change your mind, change your world, change your mind, change your world, change your world, change your mind. It all comes together. See you later. Have a blessed one.